Okay.
And notions up.
Great. It's good.
Let's do introductions.
Introductions. Hi guys. Welcome to Last Realm. Last Realm is a multiplayer sci-fi FPS, and we are the co-founders. My name is Chike and Joshua.
My name is Joshua.
Yup, and we're just gonna talk a bit about our backgrounds. I'm a Unity developer. I've been doing that for the past 5 years. I'm making games for pretty much the past 5 years. Other than games, I've been doing fintech projects, working on the design side of things and the front end. Worked on multiple teams on multiple projects that we've launched, and a few of those projects have gone on to raise multi-million pounds or so.
That's pretty awesome. So yeah, I've been doing game design for about 4 years. Started off in Unity, moved into Unreal. Most of the stuff I do is on the visual side, so modeling, landscapes, texturing, rigging characters, all of that stuff.
So literally all of the beautiful artwork you see in Last Realm is this guy here. All the concepts that we come up with, the stories, he brings it to life in an amazing way. So yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fun process because we've made 2 other games now. So
yeah, almost 2.5. 2.5 games, and all of which have really, I think it's been great collaborating on those games and building in a story as we like to do, because we're both writers. So yeah, that's a bit about us. Last Realm. Let's talk about the game.
What is Last Realm?
What is Last Realm? Last Realm is an MMO FPS sci-fi title we're building. It's a lot packed into one, so I'll do my best to break it down for everyone. But basically, we have this crazy world filled with amazing creatures and amazing stories, and users get to explore the world as their different characters, and we have 3 different game modes, and in those different game modes users can explore the world in. We have 3 modes. We have Onslaught, Creator Mode, and Story Mode. Onslaught is like a team match arena battle game, and yes, that's literally what everyone is playing right now, but we do have our own unique spin or our own unique touch to it as well, which I feel is going to be very, very compelling to our players. Yeah, and Creator Mode, you just basically go around creating whatever you want. You can create structures, monuments, kind of a little Minecrafty in its essence. Yeah. With sprinkles of like the wonder of the universe that we've created. So we have like ancient relics. And you can actually install the game modes into the arenas that you create as well. And maybe you can tell us about story mode.
Yeah, so the story starts off with the character Duke. We're initially following his journey, discovering what the Last Realm's made up of. Who's in charge. So he has to confront the Empire. When you follow Duke's story, he takes you through being a part of, or being embedded in the system that the Empire's made. And then he eventually discovers more and more about what's going on behind the scenes. He then decides he's going to leave, and that takes him through meeting all the other contenders for power in the realm.
So Duke is the protagonist of our story, and the Empire is the antagonist, at least at first.
As it may appear.
There is more. So the Empire is the antagonist, Duke is the protagonist, and we have the rebels of the Empire who kind of live in a far distant corner of the Empire, causing trouble, and trying to snatch power away from the Empress.
Yeah.
And Duke's arc is just in brief. He kind of goes on a self-discovery journey, falls into the hands of the rebel, becomes part of the rebels, and works against the Empire. And he's on a journey himself to destroy the Empire, and then that's when he discovers who he truly is, which creates all sorts of conflicts for everyone, including the rebels, himself, and the Empire. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool story.
I think one of the things that sets it apart is we're not necessarily doing the good versus evil either.
Yeah, yeah,
So a lot of the realm is made up of a lot of planets, and each of those planets is benefiting in different ways or suffering for different reasons. Some of it is because of the Empire, some of it's because of the rebels. So
yeah.
it's not quite as clean cut as Star Wars, even though when we say what the story is, it's basically the same.
You might think it's like Star Wars, good versus bad, Empire versus freedom fighters, but I think you're right. It's not clean cut, good versus evil. I think what I really like about our story is that we explore the concept of freedom in a very unique way, because freedom is actually, it sounds like, yeah, you know, you're either free or you're not, but it turns out different people, different races, different beings, different cultures have their own concepts of freedom.
Okay, so why are we making 7 rounds?
I don't fucking know, mate. I'm joking. Why are we making 7 realms? I feel like we, of all the people I've spoken to in this very interesting life of mine, I think we've had some wild ideas being exchanged between ourselves, and obviously we both have a passion for writing and a passion for telling stories.
Yeah.
And I've just heard some of the most interesting stories out of you, and interesting, like, not just stories, very inspired stories from dreams and you know, other things. So, and
I mean, you wake up and out of the blue and come running in the room and telling me crazy stuff as well. So.
Yeah, we have the. I feel like we have that similar dynamic. Like, I have a dream. We talk about it in the morning over coffee.
Yeah.
You have a dream, likewise. So, anyways, the point I'm trying to make is we have a lot of ideas, and they're brilliant, beautiful ideas that we just felt could really color and enrich a universe for our players.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fundamentally why we're making this game, to bring those ideas to life. And I feel like a lot, it's kind of like bringing other players to our coffee table in our local cafe that smells like Devon, like yeah, like, and just having them listen to the stories with us and contribute in their own way. That's why we're making the game. So Mr. Joshua, okay, so we talked about the unique stories that we have in our crazy minds and how we want to put that into a whole experience for players.
Yeah.
What other reason?
What
other reasons do we have to make this game?
I would say there were a lot of games that had a lot of substance, a lot of different modes and different things you could do in them in terms of FPSs, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we all grew up with those games having quite a depth to how you moved through them, how you got the advantage over other people.
Yeah.
But recently, I think a lot of games have followed the trend of narrowing down how you play them.
Yeah.
How you play and how you win. It's very addictive and it's super fast paced and everything, but I think we can see where players want a bit more. They want to be able to get the upper hand in more creative ways. They want to be able to think more creatively.
Yeah.
and older games gave you that opportunity.
Yeah.
So a part of how we are structuring Last Realm's gameplay is to give that back to them.
Right.
And I think we call that emergent gameplay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we're expanding the scope of gameplay, which is moving away from the more narrow scope that is present in the market today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And tell us more about emergent gameplay, because that's a real differentiator for Last Realm. What is emergent gameplay and why is it so special?
Yeah, so we want to give our players the components to mix and match. So you might have a set of items that can do what appears to be just one thing.
Yeah.
But when you mix them up, it can really start getting interesting as to how you gain the advantage over other people who might not have thought about how to use things that way.
Okay, cool. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but can you contextualize that for anyone who's watching that might be a bit confused?
So one of the things that we spoke about recently was having the voxel system for the ground or for the arena.
Yeah.
Being able to blow holes in things.
Yeah.
So that's a really good example of emergent gameplay because we've put down the structure of the arena.
Yeah.
But they've changed it.
Right.
And they can change it however they want.
Nice.
So it gives the player the opportunity to create a new way of playing.
Yeah.
And that might be creating a platform that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And gaining the advantage by getting the high ground or whatever.
Yeah.
Or blowing away the cover that someone thought was protecting them.
Yeah.
Some kind of projectile.
Yeah.
I think one of the weapons that you came up with, the Hellscape, does that really well. So the idea is to have a pod launcher that launches a seed. It grows this like Mario Kart plant head thing.
Yeah.
Acts as like a proximity mine, so if you get too close, it eats you.
Yeah.
Or it can grow vines, string you up, and tear you to bits. Kind of thing.
It's like a giant Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the emergent part of that is where do you place it? If you can place it anywhere, then the player gets to choose: is he going to hide it? Are they going to attach it to a moving object? So maybe something like a car or vehicle is kind of on a cycle.
Yeah.
And they know that players are going to come through there, so they now have a moving turret kind of thing. So
definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool because I feel like alongside the emergent gameplay, we have that unique, those unique weapons as well. They're not like some of the stuff we thought of are not your typical weapons.
Yeah, they're not
like,
too safe to put in a game.
yeah. Like that even Hellscape is really just crazy. Like you can just shoot a pod and just plants come and eat you up. It's a beautiful it's a beautiful thing.
So what have we got in the pipeline?
Very fucking great question.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But yeah, we have a few things. The most notable things are we have a series coming up. This is going to be like, I mean, you can actually explain it better. Like,
it's like it's more of an audio series, like a audio book, but there's going to be visuals with it as well. Just to explore some of Duke's story.
There's a series that's coming up. It's about a protagonist. It's gonna be sick, and we're gonna create a few episodes. I think we have about at least 5 episodes planned of that audio series, like you heard. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things we have coming up. We also have some more podcast style kind of talks
like
this. Yeah, a bit like this. We're going to explore different things, different concepts from the game. Like for instance, one of the biggest concepts in the game is the great mind.
Yeah.
And the great mind is basically like what happens if AI develops to the point where it literally pulls from shared consciousness to replace religion. Because I mean, people pin their hopes and dreams and different things on God, and they have faith in the unseen. Well, what if all of those things can be all that hope can be fulfilled because every bit of knowledge that's ever existed has been pulled together, and it's created a sort of like a layer of God. So I feel like that's actually something I don't feel like enough people are talking about.
Yeah, because I think what a lot of people do is render spiritual experience or religious experiences to kind of just help us get along.
Yeah. It's a bit more humanist in its nature, like this. Yeah,
and you can do that with a big, powerful AI.
Exactly, because like, oh mighty AI, tell us
how best should we live?
Yeah, how best should we live, and how do we solve this conflict? And it might just like mess around and actually tell you.
Yeah.
and then what? Like then it's your God. So, and it's kind of similar to how Google has been compared many times to like God, because it's all knowing.
Yeah.
I mean, not anymore because ChatGPT's out.
A new deity. He's risen. ChatGPT.
Google's like that old calf, like like that old God. Who needs it?
We're waiting for the second coming of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
He's going to come with a new name.
I mean, they're coming every year at this point, so it's going to be like a fifth coming. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, the great mind. We're going to be discussing that on our next podcast.
Yeah, we had that memisync technology.
Yeah.
How did that work again?
So that's like a biological memory store.
Yeah.
And memory store and a bunch of. I mean, if you can store memory, you basically have a computer at that point. So. It's going to be used for a bunch of things within the story, but yeah.
It was like a vial that you drink or something.
Yeah. It's a vial that you drink, and then it activates different memories, different instructions, and it's a whole different mechanism. So that's something else that we're going to explore in future episodes. But in fact, what you sent me the other day, it turns out like they're already kind of scientists are working towards actually doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, nothing is fiction at this point.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Brace yourself guys, nothing's fiction.
We're gonna have hopefully some gameplay teasers.
Yeah.
Devlogs. So we'll show some progress on how the game's looking.
Indeed.
As we go.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, that's what we have coming up.
And where can everybody find out about where to go, where to find us, how to watch us?
So basically, we are on absolutely everything that was ever created. Unfortunately, because it's very stressful. But yeah, we're on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. All the links are below. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube. On Instagram as well. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. It will help a lot. We value your support and your eyes on this project. We promise you will not be disappointed. So help us God. Tell the people about Patreon and how they can support us.
Yeah, so we have, like many people, set up our Patreon, and we have a Discord, so you can come and join us there. Support us however you feel is worth it, and we've set up our tiers, so we'll have different rewards for them, but we really want to hear what you have to say, what ideas you got, and what you think about what we're working on.
Yeah, definitely. The world is ever expanding. Like, there's so many stories and so many aspects that we would want feedback on. So it would be great if you join the community, join our Discord, support with your coins if you feel like it. And yeah,
Thank you so much for watching.
definitely,
This
we're
far.
really grateful. If you made it this far, you're a star. And do you know what? If you made it this far, message us. Message us. We want to hear from you and remember you, so we can be forever grateful.
Yeah, we will be remembered.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.